Morning, Daryl. Again, you're telling me about that friend of yours, Bam Margera. I never heard of the guy. I never came across him. Let's get to the usual here. It's 4:44 in the morning. Still Monday. Smoky outside snow, and it's still June 5th, 2023. I tell you, dealing with recovery had changed my life, and I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. I'm grateful for the recovery rooms. And what I was grateful for him is I had a brother, and I'd seen him go through hell and then back into recovery, quite literally. It came to a point where he had to save my ass, and I'm glad he did, because there was no way in hell I was going to be coming back. People laugh and joke about what kind of wonderful times they had concerning about getting drunk. I was a closet, leave me alone kind of guy. I didn't want to deal with anybody. I didn't want to deal with myself. They say the disease manifests in different ways, and it does. And it has a way of screwing around with your head, and it had. I had used work sometimes as a way of trying to stay the hell away from family and stuff, but you gotta keep working, you gotta keep working, you gotta keep working left and right. And then you gotta hear Ma bitching and griping about things, and Dave trying to drag me to his meetings all the damn time. Him being grateful that he's in recovery, but just wanted me to share in it, and I'm like, leave me alone. Got to a point where I'm heading over to a recovery hole with my brother. The story was, and I remember it. I'm not quite sure if some of the other guys at the nest remembered it. The toughest, meanest recovery hall in San Fernando Valley that had a reputation throughout the AA community was the nest. It bounced from location to a location because of leasing issues. Last time they were there, right by railroad tracks, next to a liquor store. And these guys would have parties like crazy and didn't destroy anything. These guys also acted as security around the area because this was their territory and they didn't want anything bad to happen. These guys were out of prison systems, coming out of recovery holes, halfway houses, bikers. I mean, this was, if you want to think of it, the wretched refuse. The nicest people you could actually meet. Hard on their recovery. And being sponsors, tough as nails. You had to admire these guys and their convictions. They brought families over, and sometimes it was a bit rough in there because there would be, as I said before, some of these guys were like the wretched refuse, and they would carry. There was no searching people during that time. You came in, you sat down, you got your sodas, you got your coffee, you'd listen to a program. If there was going to be a dance that night, you dance or you do karaoke. There had been one time, there had been a karaoke. And I'm singing a song very badly because I'm a bad singer. This one guy got sick and tired of the damn thing. And he pulls out a weapon, not a knife, barrel. One of the two guys watching this guy. He's a newcomer. He's shaking. I don't know what he wanted, but there was a song I'm singing. Gotta know respect. What do you think you do? Why you looking so sad? He's not so bad. He's not so bad. I shut up your face. I heard this thing back in the 70s and 80s, I think, somewhere in that time. It stuck with me all the time. I kind of liked the song, too. But it was, basically, it was a song smacking the people back east somehow. This guy got pissed off about it, and he decides to make his intentions known. And two guys jumped on him, and there was a discharge. I'm getting the hell out of there. My brother and me are going back to the car and just staying there for a couple of seconds. No, actually, my brother's trying to get into it, trying to take this guy down. I'm getting the hell out of there because I don't want to get killed. When I get things settled down a bit, I'm in the car just shaking my head. I'm like, where the hell's my bottle? Liquor store's closed. And these guys are pissing me off. What the hell am I doing out here in the first place? One of the guys comes up. Actually, I'm also getting some of my memories screwed up because there had been times that I'm listening to meetings and I just got sick and tired of it. Just went back home. I just want to go back home, so I stay in the car. And the other guy, one of the guys was coming out there. Was it Jogo? Was it Goko Joe? Had him a Joe. You don't piss off Joe. Joe was one of those toughest, meanest bastards out there. I worked with guys in the prison systems regarding their chemical addictions. And I think I memory gets fuzzy. I argued with the guy. I'm in the car and I'm arguing with the guy, and I'm giving him some lip. And he got pissed off. He went over to my big brother and said, I don't know what you're going to do with him, but you better tell him to get his act together because I came damn close to killing him. Something's wrong. He's ready to pop. He's angry. He's ready to pop. You got to watch him, bro. My brother kept an eye on me for years. Now he knew that I was in trouble. I was dealing with a hell of a lot of crap. You know, kept telling you about the grieving in the morning and processes and how it changed me a bit. Made me an angrier person, probably a little more self-destructive on some occasions. A lot of occasions. Didn't know how to keep friends or keep a job. I tried. Usually at first. It gets harder and harder. All I know is I was cooking on the inside. I was royally cooking on the inside. I go in there meeting halls with my brother and feel like the damn sidekick. Kept doing this. What the hell is this damn prayer again? Serenity prayer? Doesn't work for me. Fuck it. And I gotta think, God's there? I'm God. Deal with it. My ego and the disease were having fun with me during that time. I had an arrogance around me. I had an arrogance. But I also knew how to hide from people because I didn't want people around me. Yeah, I was glad my brother was alive. He was grateful, and he's recovering, and he's being my big brother and being a pain in the ass at the same time, and so was Ma. I was getting angry. I was getting angrier and didn't realize I was ready to pop. Dude, you don't know if you're ready to pop unless you know you're at that brink, ready to pop. A lot of anger, a lot of rage, a lot of disgust. You think it's directed at the world, but it's mostly directed at yourself. It was directed at me. What the hell was I being alive? What the hell am I doing? Why am I here? Why don't people just leave me alone? Why do I gotta deal with this? Just leave me the hell alone. I'm feeling like I just want to isolate left and right. I've got enough shame, got enough guilt, got enough crap going on through my head at this point over here. I just am too damn screwed up right now. Leave me the hell alone. I mean, that was the attitude right there. But I still needed to work. Put up the veneer and the facade and fake it until you make it, right? That's what they kept telling me in the damn meetings. Fuck them. Leave me the hell alone. I'm here because my brother's here, right? I'm his sidekick, damn it. I gotta keep an eye on this asshole. Didn't realize he was trying to keep an eye on me. I got one particular job, cooking in there for several years. Call center. Oh, I could go over the resume on this one here. Suffice it to say, let's shorten this thing up on that one. I really couldn't tell you how much I wanted to get the hell out of there and stay the hell out of there. I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to deal with home. I didn't want to deal with anything. I just wanted to run. I can't run. I can drink. But I need to hide. Leave me alone. No, you gotta deal with this, gotta deal with that, deal with the next call, gotta deal with Ma, gotta deal with Dave, gotta deal with everybody else. Why don't you just fucking leave me the hell alone? Just leave me alone. That was the attitude, that was the thoughts, that was everything going through my head. I just didn't want to be there. And I'm looking at myself sometimes, and I can't even stand looking at myself in the mirror. Like, who the hell is that person? Oh, leave me the hell alone, you schmuck. It's a good thing I never broke any mirrors, otherwise I had to clean up the mess. It got to the point where all this cooking, all this pressuring, all this force come inside of me. You know, alcohol is supposed to make you some kind of a nice guy, pleasure to be around. I'm an asshole, all right? I was an asshole as a young kid, and I was still an asshole. It just made me worse. I don't know how the hell Mom and Dad dealt with me. I don't know how the hell I was dealing with myself, to tell you the truth. Some people had drunken blackouts. I didn't have blackouts. I used other techniques to try to keep away from people, pushing them away. Even a family that I loved a great deal, but still so damn screwed up in the head. It's not even funny. Can I tell you one thing? Books may be the panacea for some things. They're also addicting as hell. They're also a shield. They're a physical shield. There are a shield out there for me to use when I don't want people to deal with me. And I could sit in a booth with my brother and we're at a meeting. I pull up the book. Doesn't matter which book. Bring a book from home. I'm going to read the damn thing. I'm going to read the damn thing. Leave me the hell alone. I'll snap at your face. I'll just give you a glare or side something like that, but I will definitely say something that'll cut you to the quick. My little technique to irritate the living crap out of people was finding a weak spot and then exploiting it in 3 or 4 seconds. If you came up, Art, or shall I say Daryl, and you're going, hey, how you doing? I'll look at you in a couple of seconds and say something that I noticed about you. Find a button and then push it. You don't have to be that mean about it, and here goes another button pushed. You know, you really don't. Oh, don't do the third one, please. It's like if you were one of the guys that I had dealt with in the nest, they'd be ready to tear my ass apart because I had an uncanny ability to look at you, size you up for a couple of seconds, and nail you to the wall. And then almost physically, these guys would want to nail me to the wall or run me over with their bikes. How was that nasty? Now, I had said before in my logs out there and all the journals I've been posting on YouTube that, yeah, I'm a guy dealing with a hell of a lot of mental health illness during this time. I mean, you die on the tables and you come back to life and nobody picks up on it, but you're supposed to deal with it, roll with it. You know, there are certain things out there that can change a person left and right, and he has to have ways of dealing with that pain. Anyway, that job I had before, I had the Walmart job with the tire falling on my face and then laying me out permanently out in that one there. Call center from hell. I was trying to talk about this one in one video because I wanted to get the story out, and the zeros and ones of YouTube and Google wouldn't allow it. But I'll try to clean it up a little bit. And it is going to be going against community standards just to let Google and YouTube know about this one. But this is what I happened to me here. There was one day that was the catalyst, and I was ready to go off. Prior to that, I was already cooking for 2 or 3 years, the last 2 or 3 years of working over there. Worked there about 6, 7 years. Working in a call center from hell, an insurance company that dealt with medical in California. Had to be separated from the other Blue. Worked for Blue Cross of California. The other company we had was Blue Shield of California. The Shield and the Cross in the state of California had to be legally separated. There could not be any combinations. That's how it was. Two nonprofits turned into profits. One of them was named WellPoint, which I worked for, and they were buying people up left and right till they got bought out back east and all hell broke loose. Changes happened over there that forced my attitude to change royally. If the customers weren't going to give me any shit, Mama would give me shit at home, and so would David on some occasions. But I had to deal with that shit, didn't I? But as work, it was also pushing the buttons more and more to the point where I decided that my outfit was going to be against company regulation. I mean, shit, they were already getting me on my vest already, and I had nothing but positive stuff on it. I mean, space badges on the damn thing, science fiction stuff on it. I had pens on there concerning about its science fiction rank and insignias on it. I mean, and I wore a hat with the same stuff on it too. So what was the problem? It wasn't professional. That was the problem. And I looked at I looked at the dress codes, and I was well within my rights. But they thought otherwise. They kept talking about me about this damn thing. I could talk about it, but I ain't changing the damn wardrobe. Got to the point I got sick and tired of being sick and tired about the damn stuff. And I just wigged. My brother had a collection. He had a few handguns. And during these last few days, or week or two, he was going to the meetings, and I just didn't go. But I started to dress up like a weekend warrior. Vest, shirt, pants, boots. Mentally, I think in my subconscious, I was ready to go to war. People were trying to tell me otherwise. They were trying to convince me otherwise not to do it. I had to tell these guys, but you don't tell me to do anything. Not even Ma, but Ma was Ma, and I didn't argue with her much. But no, you don't argue with Ma. What happened was, I'm dressing up as a weekend warrior. I had my vest, but not a combat vest. I couldn't get those damn things. Those combat vests couldn't fit. They couldn't fit in my girth. Uh, this size is current. But this happened about almost 20 years ago. Almost it was about, yeah, it was around October 2006. October 10th, 2006. Anyway, I was going to wear the shirt, wear pants, at least Levi's anyway. Wear my black vest over it. Say screw 'em. Worse than that, I told you about my brother's collection. I don't know a thing about guns. All I know is they know how to inflict. While I'm showering, my brother's rummaging through my knapsack. He noticed his storage area was exposed. I was never good at hiding my trails or my tails. I get out of the shower, I get dressed. I'm not even thinking about anything else. It's not going through the robotic mindset. It's going through what every lunatic has gone through and just kept that weird focus. That was a long time ago. That's scary as hell too. You talk about your Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I was Hyde. They could also talk about Mary Shelley and Prometheus Man, which was the creation, the monster. I think I was trying to write in a college essay a decade and a half later when I was going, actually, a couple of decades, going into Antelope Valley College into either psychology or English, was it? I was trying to make the comparisons. What an alcoholic mindset. Well, I think it was Psychology 101 because that fit better there. And they would understand about the changes that happens to a person. Wrote about the addiction. Wrote a report about it, talked about it in class, and got an A out of it. The guy doing the class was a psychologist who worked with the county, working with other people. Like this guy a great deal, I do. If you needed to talk to someone and during office hours concerning about what's going on in your head, that was it. And a lot of respect for that guy. I know, despite the fact I kept saying things about the medical establishment, but there are some people actually did earn my respect. Work with them long enough, you get that kind of bit of a trust going on. Anyway, back to the Gothic tale. So I'm going to work. My brother's trying to get engaged conversation with me. I'm not even listening to this damn shit. He knew there was something going on with me. He was trying to get me to talk. He was trying to get me to do something. I wasn't going to have it. I wasn't going to have it. I was gone, dude. I was. David was afraid. He knew. He could have called the cops on me at that point, put me in 5150, but he didn't. I think I said a few things to him, probably not to insult him. Something automatic or something like that. Went through security, checkpoint, ID badge, they got it. Okay. And the guys were like, security? Yeah, we may have a potential over here. It's him again. I didn't have to hear the conversation. I knew the conversation. Gave him enough time to formulate a plan down in HR department. My supervisor's down there with the HR manager, and they're going to have a final discussion with me. In order to have a final discussion, they need to get my ass down into HR department in a conference room to talk about things. I've already had 3 calls that already pissed me off already. 3 claim calls that I couldn't help them out and they're pissed off about it, and I was not in the mood for it. I'd already been slamming my damn headset a couple of times already. Some of the people are looking, some of my coworkers are like, John's at it again. I wigged. I was wigging. Long story on this one. I should be doing another video on it, but I got 2 musculars coming in. You, John Weaver? Yeah, what do you want? Cleaning up the language bit. We want you to come with us. Okay, expletives, expletives, expletives. Next thing I know, I'm getting picked up. And I'm being escorted into the elevator, taken down to HR department. And sat. And the 2 guys were right behind me. Or actually outside the door, I think. They already checked the bag out. The bag was clean. Of course, management wanted me to be aware that this is a conversation that they shouldn't be having in the first place. They're giving me like a 3-day notice. You have anything to say? Oh my God, don't even ask me that question. Do I have anything to say? Ooh. Oh, good Lord. What happens if you happen to give Mr. Hyde the microphone? He comes out to verbally play. Next thing I know is I'm getting back upstairs. I'm getting 2 cardboard boxes from the storage area where we had the cargo elevator and throwing shit in there. And some of the coworkers that started the first shift, they're looking at me like, uh-oh. Yeah, because now they see the 2 guys coming up behind me again. Oh, drag me back downstairs with my 2 boxes of stuff. I just cleaned out all my personal stuff. I was just ready to get the hell out of there. And perfect timing, I'll tell you. I get down to HR department. They're going to get me released and get me a taxi. And yeah, more expletives and muscular action happening with the fingers. And next thing I know, I'm outside the gate because I'm doing this on my own violation. I'm just pissed. I'm livid. I don't want these guys anymore. Just leave me the hell alone. I'm just. And between me, let's see, between what was it, Canoga Oxnard and the gate, it's like Hyde stopped. And Dr. Jekyll realized what happened with his creation, and he feels the shame, and he feels angry. And the only way to solve this damn thing was to put me through the middle of the street. It was an act of traffic. Shame, guilt, and everything else going on. Okay. Daryl, please tell me you've heard of the concept of the higher power at work. God has been keeping track of me ever since the day I was created, and even before then, so he knew I was going to be trouble at certain times of life. But he also knew that I could be an influence in different times and places of, that's going to be needed. He's still keeping me for that in the first place. I don't know why. But at that moment that I wanted to kill myself, that I wanted to commit suicide at that point, that I purposely wanted to end my physical life and say to hell with everybody, the thought comes in my head. Quiet, simple. Call home. It's a thought that you could not dismiss. It's like, call your brother. Stuff is down on the floor, picking up the phone, calling my brother. And I don't know what's going on because the brain is just losing track of reality here. It's like, what the hell? Words are coming out of my mouth, but I don't know what the hell I'm saying at this point over here. Next thing I know, my brother's telling me to get to the gas station, catty corner from the office, stay there. And my brother's coming. Get yourself a soda and relax. And don't go to El Torito, which was directly across the street from the job. Why not? I could get the munchies. I could get chips and salsas and something to drink it down with. No, because that would be problematic, wouldn't it? So while I wait at a gas station, LAPD's looking for me. They're going through the area trying to find me. I stood out. My brother came up. It's like about 40, 45 minutes. Let me give you an explanation on this one here before I go further on this one here, Joe. I'd like for you to look at Google Maps or Google Earth or whatever you're using as a map application, okay? Keep this in mind. Check out the Antelope Valley. Look for the area where it says Palmdale. Now, put into your index there, your search engine, Woodland Hills or Warner Center, California. You see the distance. It's about a 2.5 hour drive in LA traffic. Going through the pass to the 5, down a bit till you get to the 14 and head up. My brother was not taking freeway. He was taking surface streets, and he would go crazy on those streets. It takes 2.5 hours. About 45, 50 minutes here he's coming in the van. Tells me to get in. I get in. My stuff is already thrown in there. And I'm sitting in the chair and I'm like, I'm just, I'm, I got the head, the, I can't see anybody. I don't want to see anybody. I'm just looking down. I'm looking down. I'm looking down at my damn feet. And I'm holding on to the armrests, shaking. Meanwhile, my brother's having a conversation with LAPD at this point over here. There was a couple of contacts he was talking with. And they made an agreement. I ain't coming back. Get him some help. Get him some help. Avoided taking me away for 3 days. Could have been a 3-day vacation. Should have been a 3-day vacation right there. It wasn't. A 3-day hold? Could have been. Should have been. It wasn't. So the next thing I know is my brother is taking me home, trying to ask questions. What the hell's going on with me? Talk to me. John, talk to me, all right? Just tell me what's going on. You know your lips are moving, but I can't see you. I can't hear you. What's going on? I'm looking at the door and I want to run. I'm looking at the door and I want to escape. My brother's got the door locked. Safety lock. I want to get the hell out. I want to go into the street. No, not the street. I want to go on the freeway. Yeah. I want to get myself run over in the freeway. Can't get that shit done. Damn. I am feeling so damn low right now. I don't even want to see or feel anything. Why am I going through this? Why am I being saved? Just leave me alone. God, just kill me already. Get it done and over with. Why am I doing this? We stop at home. We stop at home. Stuff is still in the house, in the car. He leads me into the house. And, Johnny, what's going on? What happened? Ma had a certain way of talking to me that broke me down. And I had to tell her what was going on with me. I had to tell her exactly what was going on inside. And I didn't understand what the hell was coming out of my mouth. Sometimes I think I still have a problem trying to pull up the memory of what I told her. My brother's listening to this. He's looking at her. She's looking at him. Keep this in mind. My mother had experiences in a 12-step program. She was dealing with another situation of hers. Somewhat of chemical abuse. It was also overeating. And she had developed contacts in there. That's how she got my brother the help he needed. I'd seen how my brother changed from a playful teenager, smart ass and smart aleck, going through the military. Came out one screwed up individual, drug used out of his mind, and alcoholic. We didn't even realize we had the damn traits flowing through the damn genetic bloodline. We still do. Manifests itself in different ways. The disease really loves to kill us, I'll tell you that much. My brother was telling me they're coming to a meeting with me tonight. No, I'm, okay. Okay. Keep this one in mind. 2005, we moved from the San Fernando Valley. We lived there for about 38 years. Bounced from neighborhood to neighborhood to neighborhood. So my brother and I grew up in the place. That was home. We lived and worked in a lot of places in that valley. That was our home. But rent situations came up. unavailability for palaces, and we got a con from one of our friends telling us she had a home, but it was going through foreclosure, but never told us about that one. So we moved to Palmdale, the same place I'm talking about right now. And we had spent several months, nearly a year, actually nearly a year. My brother was making contacts in with the groups out there in Antelope Valley. One of the meeting halls we went into. I was in there, going in there half the time, just feeling like not part of the gang, not part of anything. I came in as a newcomer, October 10th, 2006. I had two gentlemen stayed with me and my brother. We met them over at the local coffee shop. We talked program. I mean, we talked and I listened. I was given my first big book. Because when we got into the meetings, I was introducing myself for the first time. My name is John W., and I am an alcoholic. That changed my life, saved my ass, and these days I wish to God I went back in right now. I feel like since I've lost my brother, the only other place that tried to make me feel like home was the halls. But there was also personality conflicts in those places anyway, which really didn't make it feel that much comfortable though. But there's also a transportation issue happening between Rosemont and Lancaster. The meetings I like to go to are the evening meetings. Daytime sucks. Not many meetings during the daytime. But they had meetings during the nighttime. Where I can meet my friends. I know what it's like being screwed up. I know what it's like to face your hide. I know what it's like to be that screwed up. And there have been days I felt like having a relapse. Dealing with the grieving, dealing with the mourning. Yeah, I've had some dreams. I've had some questions popping in my head. Why don't I go out there? 700 yards away from my home, I've got a junior market slash liquor store. It is too easy. I go there for grocery runs. They got freezers. They also have alcohol. Behind the counter where the register is, there's a whole wall. In front of the register, samples. I know this is a long ass video, but I had to get this off my chest. I haven't shared my story in so many years. I haven't talked about program in a hell of a long while. But I needed to do this for me, but I also needed to do it. I was going to say about my brother, but then I guess the message came higher power because I still needed to talk to God about it. I could still revert, but the problem is I'm mourning and grieving so damn badly. Sometimes I don't know who the hell I am anymore, or what I am, or what I'm supposed to be doing these days. It's hard enough talking to people in general about this if they're willing to listen. It's even worse is when I'm doing these videos here. Because talking about this particular side of my life, usually left in the AA halls. I'm not ashamed of being a program. No, I'm not ashamed of it at all. I'm grateful for it, though. I'm grateful to God for saving my ass and for allowing me to try to, maybe one day or another, just trying to save someone else's ass just by sitting down and listening. But I had to get this shit off my chest. I feel like I just did a podium run on this one. So I'm John W. I used to call myself I am John W. or something like that. I don't know. Weird mass monikers we do. So I'm John W. and I'm an alcoholic. That's my story and I'm sticking to it.